Hello everyone, I'm Matt.
I'm Sarah.
And this is Rome Adventure Discover. Don't forget Gus. This is Gus. So today we're going to be talking about 5 things each, so 10 things total that we hate about the Bronco Raptor.
Also, this is our new studio. If you have not noticed, it looks a little different, even though we were in the garage last time.
So new studio, we got a campfire.
Wow.
Yes. So let's get into it. Sarah, what would be the first thing, or your first hate on the Bronco Raptor?
My first hate might seem kind of weird. We will be driving in the vehicle, and out of nowhere, it's like, oh, I'm gonna be kind of hot. Okay, like let's turn the AC on. And it's like a freaking tornado. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is this like on setting 4? And I'm looking and I'm pressing it down and it's on the first setting.
I think it does it a lot when we're on highway speeds, especially like on a long road trip. I believe it's a humidity sensor from what I've read.
Or it just kind of makes the air really dry and then your throat is all itchy. And then, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna combine this in with my first hatred of the Bronco Raptor. And there's no vents in the rear. I get it, the new, what is it, the new 2025 ones have them out. There's just no vents in the back. So I guess it's kind of nice sometimes when the AC is blasting at us. We just face it towards Gus, but it does kind of suck at the back. It has no airflow.
Yes. My first hate on the Bronco Raptor would be that the battery life is very slim, or however, more so, the battery always dies. It's either the vehicle is constantly having to be on a battery tender. Well, I don't know if it's something where their software is constantly being pulled.
Well, it's not like that it dies. We're just constantly alerted about it.
The remote features being disabled.
Yeah.
Happens a lot.
It happens a lot.
Yeah, there are times where the vehicle can sit for 2 to 3 days, maybe a week. However, for those cases, it was 2 to 3 days. We did check like parasitic draw, took it in, did the whole thing. Couldn't find anything. We have since then put it on a battery tender here and there. Right now it's been okay, so we'll cross our fingers. I did update the feature to where all software updates have to be manually done so that there's no random software updates overnight. It pulls the battery, or at least kills the battery overnight. So I think since then it's fixed the issue.
Am I the only one slightly, because this keeps happening recently, wanting to add onto that about the hood ajar?
Oh.
It's so annoying. I will be in the store and I get an alert on my phone saying the hood is ajar, and then the security thing is going off and it's just it's really annoying when you're in the back of Costco and you get that alert and you know your car is going off, so then you have to run all the way to the front.
Just get some more steps in.
I don't understand what is going on with all of that.
Yeah, and of course whenever we take it in, they're like, oh, well, we can reset it, do a software update, maybe fixes it for a week, but that's what happens with a lot of these modern cars.
And all the technology. My second hate that I have for the Bronco Raptor is that the lighting inside the car is horrible.
Yeah.
It is so bad. I think a lot of people have seen already. If you don't know, there's just a small like dim light. What is that? Is that like in the center?
Yeah, you got like 2 small dim lights up front, and then
they don't do anything.
In the rear, all the way in the back, there's like 2 ones. There's a lot of kits out there that improve the lighting.
But why are you gonna have a kit to improve the lighting on a vehicle that is, what, MSRP $90,000?
Base price.
Yeah, base. Depending on a million other factors, it's like $100,000, and you're gonna have horrible interior lighting. Can't see where my jacket is.
Yeah, or my sanity. So yeah, we've added some KC like rock lights inside.
But we haven't added them in the passenger seat area.
Yeah, we have it in the cargo area. for like all of our camp kitchen area. At least right now, we do need to add a few more lights. We've thought about some of those kits where they put them on like the side rails, or where they have the roll cage.
Or like a strip light that goes in.
There's a few options that we could do.
More installs.
However, yes, another install, another thing that you have to buy. It's just an inconvenience. So my second hate largely would be the OEM hardtop on the Bronco. And to clarify, the issues that eventually come with the hardtop. So cracking, honeycomb, fading, the dynamic load is much lower than other, like if you get a 4Runner or other SUVs in the market, you're able to run a higher dynamic load for rooftop tents, other items.
With how we run our vehicle, we're not the normal person with not putting a ton of weight. We understand we put a lot of weight on our vehicle with, you know, stuff that we use. So we understand that our wear and tear can probably be contributed to that.
Yeah. But with that item being such a high cost and over a long time, that's something that you would have to either replace, repair, fix. That's one of the reasons why we swapped over to like an armadillo top. Because it has a lot more of a load rating and better mounting options. That's just worked better for us.
We have seen in the forums other people having the same issue as us, and a lot of the people we've seen with those issues run it lighter than we do. Even some of our friends either don't even have any weight on there and they still have cracking, fading, bubbling, and a lot of that stuff gets covered with warranty. But that's just another nuisance, I would say.
I guess it's more of like when you pass that warranty, that's, you got to catch it before. So
yeah,
that's why it's on the list.
The third hate that I have for the Bronco Raptor would be it does not have power folding mirrors.
Especially with it being such an expensive vehicle. I mean, even the F-150 Raptor has power folding mirrors.
Does it really?
It does. Power folding mirrors would be great to prevent mud and all that stuff to be chucked at the mirrors. It could be, you know, folded, and also if you're in a tight spot, like going through rocks, like it's, at least you could just poop, or parking. It's just one of those little things. It's not like it's the end of the world, but it's like, okay, you're spending all this money on a car. It'd be nice to have it.
It would be a nice feature to have.
My third hate would be that there are no ways to have a gutter system on the windows, covering the windows. If you're at a drive-through trying to get a meal and it's raining, it's just dumping on you. So like all that water that was pooled while it's raining, just coming right in. So having something that could redirect the water away from dropping all over.
Yeah, but still looks sleek and pretty. And another hate that I think we mutually feel this towards the Bronco is it is really hard to find an air filter for the Bronco Raptor.
Let's clarify.
Okay.
Not hard to find, but hard to find it at normal stores.
Oh, okay.
You can get it at Ford, but most of the time they don't have Bronco Raptor air filters in stock, so you have to order it. So when you go through a lot of dust and a lot of trails like we do, we're constantly have to order air filters. We've had a lot of maintenance fixes on the Bronco, and that could be another video, but a lot of the stuff have been either special ordered or have to be transferred from other dealers. The Bronco Raptor just seems to have a lot of specific parts, at least for the ones that have malfunctioned or we've had issues with. My fourth hate would be just in general the windows. One, when you open the window, it has to drop about, like a quarter of an inch, half an inch. So if you're going through a ton of mud, rain, snow, it freezes up, you start scratching the glass. But specifically, when you get to a certain speed or at some point,
or crosswind,
we start to get a loud whistle.
It like blows it like through the window and just like pops it kind of like a gap and just like whistles.
There's that, there's the wind whistle, and then there's also window resets. So you have to do, the power up and power down. functions.
That happens. So to open the door, the window goes down a little bit. And so you have to do the reset when that's not working.
It's just another inconvenience. I know at least that happens with other manufacturers that have windows that have to pop down for convertibles, but just another thing to deal with.
And the last thing that I will say that I hate about the vehicle is that it doesn't have cooling seats. It has heated seats, very nice.
And a heated steering wheel.
Oh, love that feature. Not having cooling seats. I kind of just would expect it to. The Bronco Raptor, when we saw the vehicle at the dealership, it's very nice. It's, you know, the leather seats, the heated seats. I really expected it to have cooling seats. Doesn't the
I believe the F-150 has.
F-150, does the Raptor?
Yeah, the F-150 Raptor. You're putting that much money into a vehicle. I mean, you're already there. Why not add the cooled seats? That would be nice, especially for a vehicle that's marketed to be out in the desert, off-roading, out in Utah, Moab. Having cooled seats would be a really nice thing to have. Maybe that's really something down the pipeline. But
it's just a feature that, for me personally, especially, you know, off-roading, there's some tight or high adrenaline, you know, trails and obstacles you're doing. It just would be nice to get some extra airflow going.
Yes. All right.
Even Gus is ready.
Even Gus is ready for this last one. The last hate that I have would be the plastic rubber fenders.
Oof.
This is one of the reasons why we swapped out our fenders to an ADV fender. It feels incomplete.
It feels chunky, or maybe like a Lego piece that you just stick on, but it just makes you want to rip it off.
They probably did it that way because if you're a hardcore off-roader, if you know, bottom out, you know, stuff the tires, and if it rips it out, you probably want that to be the sacrificial piece, so you don't have to replace the whole entire fender.
I don't know, because if you're a hardcore off-roader and the vehicle's wide, it's wider than the other like regular Broncos.
That's
so true. I don't know why the fender is the way that it is.
Long story short, I mean, we just prefer the ADV fender style look because at least it looks like it's all one piece.
Yeah, that, and then we've mentioned it before, the tire poke is a lot better to deal with in the tight, you know, trails. Yeah.
Within our first few trips that we took the Bronco out, we started getting really close or just nicking the fender, because with your stock setup or your stock wheel tire setup, your fenders are the widest portion. If you run like a zero offset, a wider tire, you'll be able to have some tire poke to protect you, but for us and going up to St. Hollow or things like that, we just wanted more tire poke and at least more protection from the body of the vehicle. That completes our 10 hates on the Bronco Raptor.
Hopefully that was 10. We did not keep track.
But stay tuned, there will be another video about 10 things that we love about the Bronco Raptor. We do love the vehicle, but
totally,
there are things that we've run into issues on.
At the end of the day, this is just our opinion, what we've experienced. We still love the vehicle, hence why we still have it. But let us know what you guys think down below in the comments.
And we'd really appreciate if you guys could like and subscribe. That helps us out. And we hope to see you next time, and hope you can roam, adventure, and discover.
Goodbye.